What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Renegade Home Theater on the Renegade Pop Culture Podcast Network. My name is Mike. I will be your host for this evening. Joining me, as always, is the streaming demon himself, Jacob.
What's up, y'all?
And we have our fearless leader, Kiona.
Greetings, citizens of Earth.
So today's show is going to be pretty fun. We have, of course, we will talk about WandaVision because everyone's talking about WandaVision. But some of the other titles that we have are Coming to America, I Care a Lot, Minari, and a little bit of a preview for the last blockbuster.
Yeah, because we're actually going to do an interview with the team behind the documentary for that one. So
yeah, and I'm pretty stoked for that.
And the three of us actually are going to do that interview, which is cool.
Hell yeah. So we will begin with what I think most of us can agree is the least good of our selection. We'll begin with Coming to America. Jacob, do you want to describe this one?
All right, because I suck at coming up with the plot descriptions accurately for this movie, I'm just gonna read the IMDb synopsis. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't even seen it, so I saw the reviews though, and the reviews were not particularly kind.
Yeah, they're pretty reflected. Set in the lush and royal country of Zamunda, newly crowned King Akeem, Eddie Murphy, and his trusted confidant, Semi Arsenio Hall, embark on an all-new hilarious adventure, quote-unquote hilarious adventure, that has them traversing the globe from their great African nation to the borough of Queens, New York, where it all began. So Coming to America, it's, of course, the sequel to the 1988, is that correct?
Yep.
1888 comedy classic. It features much of the same original cast, including Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, as stated, as well as James Earl Jones as Akeem's father.
Joffrey.
King Joffrey. Sherry Headley as Queen Lisa, and even John Amos as Akeem's father-in-law, the head of McDowell's. And yeah, so I'd be lying if I said that this movie was a worthy follow-up to that comedy classic, unfortunately.
You know, here's the thing. I might be one of the softest people on this movie because, well, no, it's definitely not as good as the original on the whole, at least. I actually think it does have some redeeming qualities. Maybe not in terms of its humor, because when it's not making light of Akeem getting raped.
Yes,
a lot of the humor was pretty much heavily relied on callbacks to the original.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall once again playing the guys from the barber shop. And Ed Murphy also coming back as Randy Watson, that lead singer of Sexual Chocolate, and Arsenio Hall as Reverend Brown. And also yeah, it does recycle. It's basically the same movie except it takes place in Zamunda instead of New York. And by the way, it should have just really been called Coming to Zamunda, because Coming to America is confusing as hell, because you have no idea what movie is being referred to. Either it's Coming to America or Coming to America. You know, that just really bugs me.
I actually like that Coming to Zamunda better as a title, not just because it more accurately describes where the majority of the movie is set, but it is sort of an inversion of the original.
Yeah.
maybe they could have called it Coming from America, because that's really what the story is. You know, King Akim's bastard son, pretty much learning the ways of his Zamundan culture.
Yeah. And trying to find his own voice in it, trying to bring his own Brooklyn roots to it, along with his mother, played by Leslie Jones.
And honestly, this like the stuff that worked the best in this movie was like it was his story arc and his relationship with what was her name, Amende, the
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I thought their like romantic chemistry was pretty great.
Yeah.
Although I probably would have preferred if the daughter Mika had a larger role than essentially being tossed to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say I do kind of like this movie's sense of community. Like, I felt it was stronger here than it was in the last movie. I think, guys, it does kind of feel like a real nation, and it's just its own kind of bizarre way. In a way, it's like, yeah, you do feel like these people are real, even despite all the jokes they're cracking at their own expense and whatnot. And yeah, it does have that appeal to it, I think, but just nothing else could match the charm and the heartwarming sincerity of the first one.
Now I have to ask, and Kiona, you can answer this too.
Sure.
What is your relationship with the original? Was it a movie that you grew up watching, or?
I literally watched it yesterday.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I haven't seen either of them, to be honest.
Oh,
but I watched
okay.
the honest trailers. I watched the honest trailers for the first one, and I think that filled me in pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's no substitute for the movie, of course, but I mean, it's just it's funny. It looks like a fun movie, actually. The first one does.
Yeah, it does.
I love the original. I've pretty much anytime I'm like channel surfing, like anytime it's on TV, I will just sit there and watch the rest of it. Though I'll admit the first time I've actually seen it start to finish was the night that the sequel was released, and I watched them both back to back. That was a pretty unique experience, because I got to sort of it's like you got to compare like two different styles of comedy.
Yeah. This one, that's another thing. This movie just kind of felt like a generic modern comedy, whereas the first one, it has a certain freshness to it, largely because of its director John Landis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a lot of the first one. What I really liked about the first one is like there wasn't a whole lot of background music. It was just it was very quiet in a way. It was just kind of let the dialogue do most of it, the talking and the humor, like just the silence that is, and this one, it just kind of felt too spectacle heavy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, a lot of jokes are just kind of like tired. Like we see the army of a rival tribe. They're gearing up for battle and they're using shake weights. Really?
Yeah, you can tell this movie has been
that's the highest fruit that they could reach for on the comedy tree.
Yeah, you know a movie has been in development for way too long when
shake weights.
When certain jokes like that, like they date the movie by a couple years.
Ooh, yeah, definitely. And also Eddie Murphy as the barber. A lot of some of his jokes are kind of funny, but he also makes kind of a remark about his trans granddaughter that was kind of like, ugh.
Oh,
yeah. It's one of those yikes kind of jokes.
Again, you can tell that it's a little old. That's
So how long was this movie in development for then?
probably a while.
It's been talked about for
Yeah.
years before before it actually got the green light.
Hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can find an
So it's just
actual
it's been in like development hell pretty much.
essentially. Let's see.
Because if it wasn't in development hell, I don't think it will be released right now after so long.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
On Wikipedia, it says like the development began as early as January 2017.
Ooh,
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Yeah.
yeah, that explains like another pretty tired joke of Lavelle he talks with one of Akeem's daughters, and she says that she loves American cinema, and he says, "Now that's blasphemy because here all we have are superhero movies, remakes, and sequels to old movies that no one asked for." Get it?
Oh, look how self-aware we are. Yeah.
Yep. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Say no more.
They're trying to like get a pass of from people for doing all this stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point meta humor it becomes more of a clutch than than a clever joke.
I usually don't mind those
Not
types of
even-
jokes, except that this just seems like they're just trying to ward off people's negative comments, basically.
Not even Tracy Morgan as the uncle. Lavelle's uncle was that funny.
Oh, that's sad. Tracy Morgan's usually really good.
So something I said in my quick thoughts review is that I said, and this is pretty much my final thoughts, that the movie works better as a coming of age story than as a comedy sequel.
Yeah.
I won't say that this is as bad as something like Blues Brothers 2000, which I think is the worst example of a comedy sequel. But this is something like an Anchorman 2, which I personally think is as funny and as good as the original, but it takes a similar approach where they think bigger means better.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the movie's rated PG-13, whereas the first movie was rated R.
Yeah, that doesn't
That
help.
does not help at all. No.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense because why would you watch this movie if you haven't seen the original?
Exactly.
Yeah, they make references to the first one all the time, like that was that one bride to be for Akeem in the last one, and he had her hop on one foot and bark like a dog, and
30 years later,
30 years later, turns out she's still doing it. Okay, yeah, that was kind of funny. I did chuckle at that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because it's so absurd, but to your point, Jacob, I don't see why anybody who hasn't watched the original would watch this one, because you would go back to the original first, I would think, and watch that before watching this. So,
but for those who haven't seen either and are interested, they are streaming on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both are. So,
yeah,
if you got Amazon Prime, it's go at it.
Yeah,
have at it, sir.
And even then, you're probably getting Amazon Prime for the 2-day free shipping. Yeah, I mean, I don't know of too many people who have Amazon Prime Video just so they could have.
Everybody's nobody's like, oh, we want Amazon Prime for Prime Video. I mean, so much more important than shipping, than free shipping.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Jeff Bezos just goes cha-ching.
Any other final thoughts before we move on to I Care a Lot?
I probably won't be watching the sequel, but I might go back and watch the first Coming to America.
Yeah, that's another thing. At least this movie compelled me to watch the first one, because I probably would never have been moved to watch the first one otherwise. It would just gather dust on my must-watch list. So.
Well, I'm at least glad that you got to experience the first one.
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
it really is one of the great comedies from the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially from that era.
Yeah. Watch it. Yeah. Watch this movie if you must see Eddie Murphy again. But even then, just watch Dolomite Is My Name instead.
Yeah, from the same director, Craig Brewer.
Really?
Interesting.
Same director?
That's interesting.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, apparently he like these two had such a good time working on Dolomite Is My Name that
Yeah.
he was asked to come back for Coming to America.
Yeah, another good this movie has is that we at least get another comeback of James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always nice to see him again.
Yeah, he's getting up there, man.
I just rewatched that what commercial was it for what mobile company was it?
Verizon. Oh, the one with him and Malcolm McDowell.
Yes, I love that one. I love those commercials. Those are so
I
funny.
love you and Stephanie are now friends, and Hannah has sent you a friend's request. Yeah.
All right.
Totes my goats.
So we now move on to a Netflix movie called I Care a Lot. Kiona, do you want to take this one?
So I Care a Lot is about, well, Rosamund Pike is our main leading actress and our main character, and she plays a woman who basically, can I just go into spoilers here and just tell you what she does?
Go for it.
Okay, so she basically just scams elderly people out of their estate. And how she does this is she gets a doctor to basically say that they're incapable of taking care of themselves, and so she moves in, gets a court order to move in and become their caretaker and their legal guardian. So she apparently has power of attorney. She has all, control of their estate, essentially. Basically tells the kids to shove it and move on, and takes them for all they're worth when they eventually pass on. It becomes something else as the movie goes along. It sort of starts out as this thing where you think, okay, this is like a social satire. This is going to be like an interesting movie where they're talking about like how I'm not saying that I necessarily agree, but it seemed to me like they were trying to make some kind of point here about like the judicial system and how it can be manipulated, and how like state caring for the elderly is something where it's like maybe not so good, or like they're going to make some kind of point here about that. Instead, it turns into a film where Peter Dinklage is a Russian mob boss, and the latest victim of Rosamund Pike's character is the mother of this mob boss, and she's living in the US under a fake name, and all of a sudden all these guys from the Bratva come after her and try to get her out of the care home, and like it just became something that was so patently absurd that it lost me. Just completely lost me.
Yeah, it
And
lost me too.
I was not at all a fan of this movie after, like, because first of all, let's talk about the main character, okay? Let's talk about this woman who goes around scamming old people out of their estate and money. And that's our main character we're supposed to root for? What the hell? This is an abject lesson in how to make a character that you do not care about. I did not care a lot about this movie.
You are not the only one, Kiona.
My God. Okay, and then and we're supposed to cheer on Peter Dinklage? I mean, he is a mob boss, for crying out loud. He goes after, he goes after Rosamund Pike's girlfriend in this movie because she has a girlfriend who's played by the wonderful Isa Gonzalez, who is amazing. Peter Dinklage is also wonderful. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the guy. That wizard came from the moon is one of my favorite lines, one of my favorite bad lines from video games of all time. But he is just like, I don't know. He wasn't menacing to me in this movie at all, because basically the Bratva is useless in this movie. The Russian mob is useless. They can't get an old lady out of a care home. They can't stop Rosamund Pike and Isa Gonzalez. Okay. It's just like ridiculous. This whole entire movie to me just sucked. I'm sorry. I did not like it.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about this one either, Keona. Like this movie really struggled to have a point. Like it was like you said, it hinted at some satire here and there, some commentary, but it just didn't really go anywhere. It was there
No.
were flashes of a much more promising movie beneath all the all the edge
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
the ending doesn't feel in any way earned.
Not at all.
It just it takes a dark turn on the ending,
See
and yet
that
it,
okay,
it takes a dark turn, and you just didn't feel it a goddamn
Ca-
thing
Can I
watching it.
can I talk about the ending here? We're going full spoilers in this, guys. I'm sorry, but you know what? The ending then it becomes this whole thing about massive corporations and how they make their money and how crooked it is and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I don't disagree with you here. But now you're gonna say that we're supposed to cheer for her and she got away with it, and then she dies in the middle of a street from a gunshot from a character that seemed unimportant in the very first few minutes of the movie. And
Yeah,
that dude came up to her and literally said to her, "So we can't even cheer on this guy because you know what he says to her?" Comes up to her. He's one of the victims, by the way. His family got basically robbed by this woman. So we're supposed to feel sympathy for him, right? He comes up to her and says, "I hope you die and I hope you get raped and all this stuff." And it's like, if we're supposed to be on his side, don't make him such a ridiculously, like vile person. Like, I wouldn't even say that to my worst enemy, especially if it's a woman. I wouldn't say that. So, like, he goes up to her and then she responds with the whole girl power thing, and I'm gonna take your gonads and rip them off if you ever talk to me like that again. And it's like, okay, I just feel so confused by this movie. Like, whose side am I supposed to be on? And I just ended up on no one's side. Even though there
yeah,
are moments where Rosamund Pike is, because she's Rosamund Pike, she's sympathetic and her performance is good. And like she has some good moments like where she almost gets killed and then she goes to the convenience store and she's dripping wet and all that stuff. Like that was a funny scene. That was a good scene. But like for the most part, this movie is just crap for me. I total thumbs down.
yeah.
Can't
Okay,
Mike,
recommend it.
what's their
so
2 cents?
um, so here's the thing. A lot of what you guys said, I do not disagree with. Um, but here is the power of a great performance.
Yeah.
It can take um it can take some of that uneven like meandering sort of writing
Mhm.
and actually make it sort of compelling.
Mm.
um
I agree with you. Yeah.
I think the reason why I like really got into this movie was because it reminded me a lot of sort of the sillier Coen Brothers movies. Like I think this would make a great double feature with Burn After Reading, because both are pretty both are pretty like ridiculous in terms of the plot, and also they both kind of have like pretty anticlimactic endings. Um, so yeah, I completely understand um if this movie is not someone's cup of tea, because without Rosamund Pike's performance, this whole thing would have fell apart easily.
Yeah, I
Mm.
completely agree with you there. Mhm.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
great. I mean,
It's
yeah, go ahead, Jacob. I'm sorry, I talked too much.
it's a shame, Radioactive, the last Rosamund Pike we talked about, that wasn't great either. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and also she was great in Gone Girl too, even though I wasn't crazy about that movie when I first saw it, at least.
I still need to see that.
You
Yeah,
should.
Yeah.
It's like it's so good.
yeah. It
I
was
mean,
way too long for me.
she's a great actress, I think. And I like Peter Dinklage and I like Isa Gonzalez, and I'm forgetting the name of the woman who played the mother.
Diane Wiest.
Yes, yes, she was great in this movie too. There's that moment where she like chokes out Rosamund Pike, and I was almost like cheering her on in that moment, except that it was also presented as kind of absurd again. Like to me, the word to describe this movie is just it's patently absurd. But like you said, Mike, there is a certain thing to be said for that, and there is like there is a way to use that as a film technique and as a narrative technique. So I might not feel like they did it well here.
Full
But
disclosure, guys, I felt
Yeah.
like we need to talk about a Netflix movie. That's why I recommended this one to talk about, just because it was getting decent reviews. But according to Rotten Tomatoes right now, audiences aren't crazy about it either. So yeah, this is kind of one of those discrepancies between the audience and critics movies. And
that's
so
okay. But I mean, it's okay because like it's good. It's actually good. It's a good topic to consider and talk about because look at how fired up it's making me. Jeez, I'm not even like I'm not all that invested in it, but at the same time, it's like I am because I'm just like I'm kind of mad at it. But
No,
I also
I'm actually really glad that that we're talking about this.
yeah,
If for no other reason, then I don't want our listeners to get the impression that we're only reviewing movies that we like.
exactly.
yeah, but it's something like I do kind of like how we try to be more positive. Like if I watch a
Yeah,
movie that I
yeah.
think is really bad, then I just don't even bother because I don't want to subject you guys to it.
Well, that's the reason why we're not reviewing music.
Yeah, but not only that, music's just fucking harmful, man. At least I Care a Lot doesn't. At least it doesn't throw autistic people under the bus.
Yeah.
It's well, it may not it may not execute its satire well, but at least I Care a Lot punches up as opposed to punching down.
Exactly.
Like they're not criticizing they're not criticizing the elderly.
No.
They're
They don't show restraining. They don't promote a restraining thing that can get elderly people killed.
Yeah, they're
no, they don't do that.
yeah.
But I mean,
If anything, I wish I wish that the like the satire was a little bit more focused.
mhm.
But at the same time, I also wish this committed more to the silliness.
Yeah. I mean, the only people I think that should be insulted by this movie are Russian mobster hitmen because they could not do a good job in this movie to save their own lives because Peter Dinklage should have just killed them on the spot after they failed to kill Rosamund Pike.
Did they even cast any actual Russian actors?
Doubtful.
I mean,
Well, he was
maybe,
supposed to. He was a former Russian mob boss, so he was more like trying to go legit and trying to like be a a capitalist.
I suppose.
It's just funny to me because every time I see Peter Dinklage, I just think Game of Thrones, or I think of like the original voice of the Ghost in Destiny. So I'm just like, poor guy's typecast.
Honestly, when I think of Peter Dinklage, my mind
And also Space Pants.
My mind goes to Elf first.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna say that.
You're feeling strong.
Call me Elf one more time.
One more time.
Actually, there's another good Peter Dinklage movie that I saw in a film deconstruction class. It was called The Station Eight. What was it called? It was called
The Station Agent.
The Station Agent. Yes.
Yeah, I've been meaning to see that one for a while.
That was good. That was
very intriguing. I really like him as an actor. Honestly, I really do. So, I mean,
yeah.
It's not. I don't blame him for this. I just think that it was just a weird like. I was so ready for it to be what it appeared to be in the first like 20 minutes or so. And then it just went off the rails for me and it kind of lost me and never got me back.
Yeah.
So except for
very aimless,
except for maybe that moment towards the end where they start criticizing like how these rich people get rich. Then I was like, you know what? I wish we had more of this in the movie because I'm on board for that. Like,
so like they had a strong beginning. They almost had a strong ending, and then it's the middle where it lost you.
Yeah, it's the majority of the movie. I would say like maybe 70% of it. But it was just so because I was so on board for them kind of deconstructing that idea in the beginning, where it was like, maybe it's not a good idea to get a legal guardian who's like and make them wards of the state or something. It's just, family should take care of family.
This movie was just a sandwich with no meat.
It's like that time I went to McDonald's and ordered a quarter pounder and got no beef.
Or like in Good Burger when the guy asked for a burger with nothing.
A burger with nothing.
And literally it was just 2 puns.
Oh God.
I think one thing that this movie does deserve a little bit credit for is like not at all making a big deal about the relationship between Pike and Gonzalez.
Yes.
Like they're a couple, so what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I love them. I love them both.
That's a positive step in the right direction.
Yeah, that doesn't have to deal with, but they don't have to deal with homophobia and all that angst.
Yeah,
that is a cliche.
I would say if you want to see kind of a social satire sort of thing, like that's kind of like this movie, like go watch Gone Girl or go watch Promising Young Woman instead.
Or another one I could suggest is, it's less comedic and more, and a little bit more a thriller. White Lie.
Yeah, White Lie.
Yes.
Yep. Go watch that instead.
I thought about that as I was watching this.
I did too.
Wow, this is another great double feature.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Any other final thoughts before we move on to Minari?
Has some flourishes here and there, but nothing substantial about it.
I did not care a lot. Thumbs down.
Well, I guess I'm the only one who cares. Thumbs up.
Oh, virtue signaler.
Oh God. No.
Moving on to moving on to Minari. I'll go ahead and describe this one. So Minari is a film directed by a Korean American filmmaker, Lee Isaac Chung. It was produced and stars Stephen Yeun, Alan Kim, Han Yi-ri, and Yoon Yoo-jung. So this is set in the 1980s, and the film follows a Korean American family who moves to an Arkansas farm in search of their own American dream. Amidst the challenges of this new life in the strange and rugged Ozarks, they discover the undeniable resilience of family and what really makes a home. And wow. Jacob, I'm gonna start with you. What did you think about Minari?
Well, here's the thing. When people think of A24, a lot of them just kind of think about the horror movies. There's like Hereditary and Midsommar, and recently released Saint Maud, and It Comes at Night, and yada yada. But there's another side of A24 that I really admire, and it's the slice of life expose on a little represented corner of American life. All right. This is in Moonlight and in the Florida Project. And the most recent one of these is, Minari. And it is a great entry in that canon, I gotta say. It really is.
Kiona, you were less enthusiastic than Jake and I were.
I'm a little more middle of the road, and it could just be the week I'm having because I'm having a terrible week. But it's getting better. But I had a terrible week when I was watching this, and it's like, yeah, for me, like I see the artistic merit, I see the positives, I see the great performances. Steven Yeun, by the way, Glenn for life, man. That guy's awesome. Uh, I I think that the Korean actors, they were very, very good in this. It's always good to see Will Patton in a movie. Um,
Yeah.
the first time I ever saw him was in The Client. Do you guys remember that movie from like '94?
No.
Barely.
That was a Joel Schumacher film, actually, and
Huh.
he played a cop in there who tried to scare this kid into giving himself up. So my family and I gave his character the nickname of Psycho Cop because he's just so funny. He like goes up to this kid and just tries to scare him all the time. And he's like, "There's cockroaches in the jail." Like he's so just menacing. Anyway, um, so it's always good to see him in a movie. So I enjoyed that part of it, even though he plays like the weirdest dude.
Yeah, he's like a religious zealot, basically.
Yeah,
Just
he's like, he starts like praying in tongues and like exorcising the farm and like doing all this, like exorcising the
yeah.
farm.
On Sunday, he's like dragging a cross over his shoulder.
Literally, yeah,
Yeah, it's literally his cross to bear.
a
Yeah,
little eccentric.
He's doing like exorcisms. Yeah.
Yeah. So but like I said, great actor. Um, it's an interesting story. I just think for me it failed to connect just a little bit. And I think it's because of maybe some pacing issues. Maybe I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to watch it. So what'll probably happen is I'll go back and give this film another chance eventually. But I think
Please
that
do.
yeah, I think that I mean I really tried to watch this one, guys. I really did. But like the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, it's just a little bit too draggy for me, but I do get the artistic merit for it, and I do love the cinematography and I do love the performances. So I wouldn't call it, I'm not gonna say it's bad or anything. I would just say for me it was, I would say it's above average.
Mm.
But above average to good, I would say for me.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Sometimes it takes movies like a couple watches to get like to really like soak everything in.
It could
Although
just be slice of life is not my genre. It could
Mm.
just be
that
that too.
yeah,
Are you just?
that could be it too.
But
I can't think of any of these other movies that you've seen, Kiona.
well, the movie that I came back to when I was thinking about this movie and comparing it a little bit was Nomadland, which is that same kind of pacing. But
Yeah.
like for me, it was maybe it's because it's more like about grief, and I connect to that a little bit more than like uh I don't know. I don't really know. But it's to me, I just know that I liked Nomadland, and I didn't like this one as much as that one.
Okay. Well, did you at least see any poignancy in
Yes.
the family's relationship with their grandmother?
Yes. Yes.
Yep. I gotta say, Yu Young Young, she was terrific. I thought she was
Yeah.
the real heart of the movie. I just
Oh, certainly.
She's a spitfire of a woman, and she was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, she was really good. Just
I liked her relationship with David, the son, played by Alan Kim,
mhm.
the young actor. Like when she shows him in the movie, it's directed title from Minari. There are these plants that she grows near this river. It's like these water seed plants. I think that's what they are.
Mhm.
Or see, doesn't she say they like heal everything and such? Like they're basically this miracle cure and
Huh.
The name of this plant is or it's usually referred to as water dropwort.
oh,
Mhm.
water drop. Okay.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's what it's like. Water drop. And
Mhm.
yeah, it's like water. It plays a heavy theme in this movie.
Yeah,
I think it just
it does.
yeah. There's something like this movie. It has a lot to say about how much ethnic families should preserve their traditions as they're assimilating to American culture and
That is true. Very
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
and how they can still build relationships, like Stephen Young's character Jacob, with Will Patton's character Paul. Um, and
Mhm.
even Alan with the kid, the white kid that
Yeah.
he meets at church. That at first
At first, it
says,
starts a little bit weird.
it starts a
I
little
got
racist.
I got nervous.
When
Like
that little girl was like,
watching that
"Stop me
scene.
when I say a word in your language."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. Go on. I'm sorry.
I got scared during that scene because I thought they were going in 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 that direction because
Mhm.
you know this takes place in the 80s and um you know today like modern audiences are a lot more conscious of like ethnic slurs, but back in the 80s we weren't quite there yet, so I was kind of worried that um like the white kids in church would be written as like sort of like stereotypical like
Yeah.
yeah, just like stereotypical rednecks, but
Mm,
that turned out not to be the case. And
yeah.
There were so
David,
many moments like that.
yeah, I like that eventually David and I can't even remember the kid's name. Like
I
they
think Johnny, I
oh
think is his
Johnny,
name.
yeah,
Yeah.
that like they do eventually have their sleepover and and they have fun together while the grandma's in the hospital. And like it's this movie it does a really good job, like Jacob said, pretty much um just showing a day in the life of this family.
Yeah. And it's the real tension of the movie is Jacob Stephen Young. He starts irrigating. He's just trying to come up with his own water. He's trying not to rely on city resources like produce and such. Like he says that you can't trust the big city. That's like a Korean thing, and he's trying very hard to start his own farm in this area, and that pressure is kind of, it's been put more and more on him as things look more dire. For instance, David, he has heart problems, okay, and Yuri Han, the wife Monica, she thinks they should move to California, because for a doctor, for treatment and such,
Mhm.
and that just adds more to this kind of friction between these different family members, like what they should do, with given their circumstances.
Mhm.
And can I just say what I thought the real highlight of this movie was?
Sure.
So David, he doesn't take kindly to grandma at all at first. She doesn't act like a real grandma to him, like, because real grandma, she doesn't bake cookies, she swears, she calls him a bastard as they're playing cards. Essentially, she's teaching him how to gamble and all these things. And so on, like he has a bedwetting problem. Okay, so what he does with that is that he replaces her tea with his own piss, and he has her drink it.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. That.
And
Ugh.
and um and Stephen Young, that night he tells him to go get the sticks for him to beat him with, and then David, he breaks it accidentally, and so he has to go get a better one. But then the grandma, she's just pleading with him not to punish him. No, no, it's all right. So what if I drink a little pee? It was fun. and then he just comes out without a stick. He just gets like this little straw or whatever, and she just laughs up. Oh, you're so clever. That's it. You win. I just thought that was a great moment because it shows how far as a grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sticks out for her grandson.
Oh yeah. Like
So
all grandparents do.
yeah, the
It's moments like that that made this such an enjoyable and heartwarming film. Also the ending, um, where pretty much pretty much the grandma both like pretty much she destroys the farm, but she saves the family in some ways. And that was really her mission from the start. That's the whole reason she came to live with them.
And it ends on a hopeful note where they start rebuilding the farm, and they just start over, basically. Yeah. So.
And they probably will have a career where they don't have to sex chickens for a living.
Yeah, chicken sexing. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And it's not what it sounds like, people.
Thank God.
It's where you determine the sex of the chicken and as a baby chick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. See, because I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the little details like that I thought were pretty fascinating.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these slice of life movies. Nothing feels trivial.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is actually becoming more and more my favorite genre. Actually, the slice of life movie drama.
Yeah, I don't know if it's mine, but like I said, this movie is good, and I think everybody should go out and support it because we need more films like this, and we need more independent drama, and we need more of all types of films. So
now, before we wrap up this section and move on to WandaVision.
One more before that, actually, Mike.
Okay. I need to get your opinion on this. Is this movie a foreign film or is it an American film?
American film.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I would say American film.
Because I know it's beating a dead horse to criticize the Golden Globes, but like, come on. This is like the second time that they've made a blatant error by putting this in the foreign language category, and then it's ineligible to compete in any other category. That's bullshit. This is an American film about American immigrants that should be celebrated among the best movies of the year. Period. Full stop.
Best drama. Yeah.
I will not argue that.
Mm-hmm.
So Academy, if I see this in the international section, I will have words.
It's not. Yeah. The Academy, they haven't made a decision like that. I mean, they've made some pretty big fuck ups. Like, I won't deny that at all. But good, green book. But yeah, we'll just have to see if they make that mistake. But no, I don't think though. I don't think it's really No, it has to be submitted from a country, and I don't think it made the short list. At least I'm pretty sure it hasn't.
Thank God.
If Parasite can win Best Picture, then this movie can.
Exactly.
At least be nominated, at the very least.
At the very least.
I think it will be nominated because it's a movie that a lot of people are talking about. So, and it is right up there, like some of the best movies of because of the pandemic. I'll say 2020 and 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else before we wrap this one up?
Check this movie out. Definitely, it's on video on demand. You will not be sorry.
Yeah, I'll recommend it as well.
And I'm curious what you think about it after a second watch.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah. I'll probably wait until it goes up for sale or something, or for rental or something again, but at a not $20 price.
Yeah, as much as I love the movie, I'm not a big fan of like paying $20 to watch it each time.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I think what they
Really.
should do is maybe like if you're gonna put it on premium VOD, maybe make it a longer rental period, like maybe make it 3 or 4 days instead of 2.
Or just a week. Why
Or
not
just
a
Yeah,
week?
yeah, 5 days. Why not?
I like that better than the 48 hours.
Yeah, because you're paying $20 for it. I think that you should get at least more viewings out of it so that you can say like it justifies the money that I
That's
spent.
help determine what VOD titles we talk about on the show. Because that's the thing that stops us from talking about Barb and Stargo to Vista Del Mar.
Yeah. Like
I
I want to see it, but I don't know if I'll spend $20 on it.
Let's just it's just
I didn't mind for this one because this is a good movie and this is worth supporting.
It's a best picture contender. That's why I recommended it.
Yeah. And like Promising Young Woman, I didn't mind spending the $20 on that because that was an interesting film. So
I still need to watch that. So
and News of the World, you like?
Yeah, News of the World too. I like that one a lot. So yeah, I mean, there's some movies that I really enjoyed and I don't mind spending the $20 on because it's like going to the movie anyway. So, but I do wish that it was a longer time period for the rental.
You hear that? You hear that, studios?
That would even it out for me personally. So anyway, we'll go ahead and leave that in the show notes.
All right, and the last thing we have to talk about. Actually, no. Do you guys want to say a few words about the last blockbuster?
I do. I'm repping the Blockbuster shirt, by the way, which you guys can't see, but just know that I am wearing my Blockbuster shirt. And I think that I can't really review this movie necessarily because I did help fund it on Kickstarter, so I did pledge some money towards it, and my name is in the credits as a supporter. But not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm just saying that's the fact. So, what I will say is that it made me very nostalgic for my job, my old job. And I have some stories about Blockbuster, but I don't think we should go into them exactly right now. But I will say that that for me personally, my experience working at Blockbuster was a pretty fun one, and it had challenges like any job does, but at the same time you get to really know your customers and you get to know your coworkers. And I worked at 2 different stores, one of which closed down before the other one did. So it was a lot of fun. I made some lifelong friends there, and I think that it was always a joy to even though we had to upsell like crazy, like candy bundles and stuff. If I never hear the phrase candy bundle in my life again, I will be happy. But that is, beside the point, because really what it came down to was making that connection with a consumer. And if you found a customer, and if you found somebody who was really in tune with your recommendations and stuff, that was always fun. So,
Yeah, makes me wish that I was able to work at Blockbuster.
Oh, you would have been awesome, Jacob. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
You could have totally recommended so many movies, and Mike, you too. I mean, you guys so much better than me. I was just especially at the time when I started working there, I was mainly action guy and a lot of superhero films and stuff like that. But I remember families would come up to us trying to rent Watchmen. And I would just tell them for their kids because they think it's a superhero movie, and I'd just be like, are you guys aware that this is R-rated? That this is this has stuff in it? And I would tell them that, and they would just be like, oh no, we don't care.
I mean, it was more power to them. But
inevitably, it was like grandparents and stuff who were like, we don't care,
Yeah.
our grandkids have seen all this before. So it's just But I mean, we would do our jobs at Blockbuster is what I'm saying. We wouldn't just sit there like how a lot of people are blaming, stores and companies and stuff. But we would do our jobs and actually inform the parents that this is what's in that, or the grandparents. Same thing with games too. I mean, yeah, but everybody was like, we don't care.
For more nostalgic Blockbuster stories, check out our upcoming interview with the directors, which I have up here, or the director Taylor Morden.
Yeah, and also the writer as well, I think.
Oh yeah, Zeke Cam.
Yep, he's going to be on that too.
Personally, I'm excited to talk to them.
Me too.
Not
Yeah,
just
me
not just
too.
about like the making of this movie, but I'm looking at the cast of Talking Heads. Um,
Yeah.
they've got Kevin Smith, Doug Benson,
Lloyd Kaufman.
Lloyd Kaufman, Sam Levine.
It's
It's an all-star cast, and I can't wait to talk about everything with those two.
Jamie Kennedy's anecdote in that his memory of being part of the Blockbuster Entertainment team, that cracked me up because I sort of remember those commercials, but not really.
Yeah, and
That
James Arnold
just
Taylor.
that is just so freaking 90s, to me. I don't know, 90s advertising campaign. It's so amazing. Yeah, James Arnold Taylor was just great. I loved his walking with the
Yeah,
lightsaber.
man of a thousand voices.
Man, what a guy. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a fun documentary to watch, honestly. It really was.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we dive into WandaVision now?
Yeah. Guys, let's give our spoiler-free thoughts first, and then we'll do and then we can just sign off real quick, or not sign off, but we can just say just find us at renegadepopculture.com, because if you guys don't want to listen to spoilers, then that's your endpoint.
Fair enough.
Because I'm going to spoil the crap out of this show. So
Yeah.
Okay, so really quick, if you're living under a rock and have not been following the Marvel Cinematic Universe, WandaVision is a show about Wanda Maximoff, and Vision, her robotic love interest. And honestly, that's really all I can say. That's non-spoiler. But if you've seen any of the trailers, it's basically this is basically the MCU's sort of exploration of Wanda's psyche through the lens of popular sitcoms from all of the decades, from like I Love Lucy from the 50s, I Dream of Jeannie in the 60s, like the Brady Bunch in the 70s, etc., etc.
Yeah. Full House in the 80s, Malcolm in the Middle in the early 2000s, and Modern Family in the late 2000s.
Yeah. Spoiler-free thoughts. I genuinely think this is one of the best things to come out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If for no other reason, then this is like their first real attempt, if you not counting Agent Carter, where Kevin Feige gets to develop a longer form exploration of our main characters. I think Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany give some of their best performances as their respective characters, and Catherine Hahn, just Catherine Hahn.
I love her so much.
Yes, she is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Jacob, your thoughts?
Well, there's really nothing I can say that hasn't already been said. This is a great entry in the MCU. It starts off as an incredibly surreal, just hilariously surreal, like what the hell is happening sort of thing, and then it geniusly just goes dark in such a natural pace. It's such a deep, character-driven story, and it's does it in a way that only Marvel can pull off. Really, it's a miracle, and it's not going to be replicated by Marvel or anyone else anytime soon. This amount of ingenuity into the writing, into the performances, into the character exploration, it's just good stuff, man.
Awesome. Kiona, how about you?
Spoiler-free thoughts. Everybody go watch it. Everybody, if you like the MCU at all, go watch it. If you're a fan of Wanda, if you're a fan of the Vision, go watch it. It's just, yeah, it's good, and it's seeding a lot of threads that will come to fruition, I'm sure, in the MCU in the future, in the near
Oh
future.
yeah, and we will certainly dive into that.
Yeah. Yep. I would say that that's the only thing I'm going to say about it is just go watch it. There's a reason why the show exists, and it's it I think accomplishes what it's set out set out to do. So yeah, thumbs up.
All right. This is this is the entry point into the Hex.
This is the cutoff here. So if you guys do not want to stick around for spoilers, then you can find us all at renegadepopculture.com, on Twitter at renpopculture. If you guys do not want to stick around for spoilers, so just go ahead and join the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/RPC42.
With that said, fuck, where do we even start?
Well,
Okay,
we can start by affirming that it was indeed Agatha all along.
Do you guys want to know my issues with the show?
You know what?
You
guys want to know my issues with this show? Because I have issues, and I'm not talking comic books.
That's actually a more interesting discussion to have, because I already know like what I think of the show. But
yeah, I haven't said anything about this anywhere. I haven't said anything
Oh.
about this anywhere on any group chat or anything, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But like for me personally, I think you could have gotten rid of one of those sitcom episodes, at least one. And I think you could have replaced it with more stuff about White Vision, because that came out of literally nowhere. And I think you could have made something more of those, like those little things that people were looking for. I think you could have done something with it, because this show is part of the larger tapestry of the MCU. And I think it was a missed opportunity to not do something there. I also think that the finale felt very rushed to me, and the CGI battles were not creative. I think that having her just throw hex bolts the whole entire time is lazy. I don't think that's creative at all. And I think that for me, the finale itself was unfortunately more disappointing than I like to admit. I mean, it was cool to hear the Ship of Theseus thing. That was cool. I like the philosophical debate there with the visions. I think there could have been more with White Vision. Because
what
that is a
happened to him
big
at the
deal.
end even?
That's a big deal in the comics, actually, that White Vision comes around. Well, I don't think we're supposed to know what really happened to him in the end. He just says, "I am Vision," and he goes off. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's the Marvel fake death universe." I don't think it's the fake death universe, because it's like he's a different character. He's not our Vision. Like, if I remember correctly, one of the things in the comics that he was very cold. He's very cold and much more of a machine than a man, because it's, first of all, he's brought back by like unnatural means. And secondly, he doesn't have the mind gem anymore. So he's like, for me, the White Vision is not the real, it is Vision, but it's also not Vision.
He doesn't have the same intellect as the original Vision.
He doesn't have the
it's
same
it's a body without the soul.
Yeah, he doesn't have the same capacity to love. So like, if he were to meet Wanda again, he would just be like, "Oh, you're Wanda. We have a connection, yes, but it's not the same one that we had before," which would just break her heart even more. But I think that, like, yeah, I mean, I wish that they had devoted more time to getting that plot off the ground, and I wish that they had devoted more time to establishing Agatha. Like, I would have done one more episode where it's just backstory, so they didn't have to just offload that all in the finale, because I felt like it was just way too much in the finale for people to really grasp. So for me, the finale was probably the weakest episode other than 3. 3 annoyed me to crap, which was the birth of the twins. That episode annoyed me and almost lost me. Like, I was like, everybody's just screaming and everything is just intensely, funny, quote unquote. And to me, it just wasn't funny. So like, I don't know. For me, I mean, certain things were funny. Don't get me wrong, but for me, it was episode 3 and episode 9 that were the weak points of the series. Episode 4 and 8 were the strong points. And it's because I enjoy more of the comic book stuff than the sitcom stuff. So that's just me personally speaking, as someone who, you know, is a comic book fan who, yeah, I'm not like a super knowledgeable person of Vision and Scarlet Witch, but I do think that for me, it was a little bit on the weaker side. So, you know, that being
Actually,
said, it's still an excellent series and I still would recommend it. And I love Christoph Beck's theme that always plays
Oh,
at the end. My God,
yeah.
that's amazing.
yeah, very creepy, very
It's so awesome.
yeah. Yeah, it just reminds you that there's this dark undercurrent underneath it all. It's even in the first 2 episodes, which are mostly comedic.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they
actually, I
could have
think I like the
combined those two.
sitcoms. I differ when you can. I actually like the sitcom stuff better because I'm just amazed of how this show it tackles 5 different genres of sitcoms and it nails each and every one of them. That's just mesmerizing to me personally.
Oh, that's fair.
It's
Yeah,
six like
if
and just because it's just so different from what we've seen so far in the MCU. It's just
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think they should cut out that element completely. I just think that for me, I would have maybe like combined the first 2 episodes together and then moved on from there and had an extra episode of backstory or like exposition. I think they did what
I
they
think
could.
the one I think the one pushback I have against that is it's I'm glad that that this series ran for 9 episodes and like and each at kind of like varying lengths as opposed to what the Marvel Netflix shows did that frustrated the hell out of me was each season had to be 13 episodes, which in my opinion ran too long.
Yeah.
Um
Especially
like
Iron Fist, for God's sake.
yeah,
Iron
I
Fist.
never even got through Iron Fist.
that doesn't even make sense because it's a streaming service, Netflix, not a broadcast network.
And it's all bingeable anyway. It's like, you know, you 13 episodes at pretty much an hour each episode.
Yeah, that would have been awful for WandaVision. As much as I enjoyed like getting the time to get to know these characters, I also think like you have to pace your show um in a way that serves as the story. Now on the flip side, I'm glad this was a series and not a movie
Agreed.
Yes.
Because then you couldn't do the sitcom element or at least you couldn't do it as well as they pulled it off here.
Right. It would just be redundant as a movie. It just get really repetitive.
I just
Yeah,
think that for me personally, that's not the element that interests me.
that's fair.
Yeah, I wish that they had cut that down a little. Because watching it back and going through the first 3 episodes is like it's rough. For me, it's rough.
But I think the reason why I liked the sitcom stuff and 2 why I think it is important is because in episode 8 they give the reason why. It's because it's something she grew up with. It's the last memory or the last like positive memory that she has of her parents.
Which I always assumed that when it was revealed that she was the one pulling the strings at the end of episode 4, I just kind of knew that I was like, okay, well, why is she doing all this sitcom stuff? You know, and I figured, well, you know, since she grew up in Sokovia, she must have had a pretty shitty life, and I'm sure sitcoms were a comfort for her. And sure enough, in this episode, we see her as a girl binge watching the Dick Van Dyke Show, and you know, and you see her, and you know, she just loves it, you know, and it just made all the sense in the world, actually.
The one thing in that scene I'm being a wet blanket. I'm sorry, guys. But the one thing in that scene that sort of did not make sense to me is the fact that they're all like cozy in their room and there's a war going on outside. And like right outside the door, unless that's memories being played with, like sometimes our memories are not completely accurate.
I'm pretty sure that's just her memories being all
Jumbled.
yeah.
Or Agatha just doing her thing, just kind of playing with them.
Where did her dad find all those DVDs, man?
Yeah,
Is
like
Barnes and Noble there?
Apparently.
And they all appear to be Region 1 DVDs, which
They're
I doubt
all
Yeah.
Maybe he bought a Region 1 DVD player off the Sokovian eBay.
Yeah.
Sokovian eBay. Oh. Do you think that those were her foster parents that she grew up with since infancy, or do you think that those are her actual parents? Because if they could, if they wanted to, they could retcon that, and Magneto could still be her dad. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying that I buy into that or that I would like die if they didn't do it. But like, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
That's the cleanest way that you can introduce Magneto as her father while
maintaining the
while maintaining continuity.
Yeah.
But then again, like even within the MCU, there have been small retcons.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, in the first Iron Man, when Phil Coulson is spelling out SHIELD.
Yeah. It's
like,
a different. It means something different.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not only that, but like, within the MCU, he's spelling out SHIELD like it's a new organization, but SHIELD.
Oh yeah, true.
But SHIELD has been around
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. And, well, no, not even that. Like SHIELD has been around since like World War II, but Coulson is kind of in that first movie. He's describing it as like kind of a newish organization.
Yeah.
So like
that's how you can tell they didn't have the plan set in yet.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think like
I miss Coulson.
Me too. But that's
not
the
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crappy version.
But that's why I think like when Marvel finally does introduce like mutants, they're not going to do something ridiculous like, oh, they've been on Earth
here the whole time.
Like I don't think they're going to be like from the multiverse. Though I do think whatever Wanda whatever Wanda did at the end of the series has shaken up it has to have shaken up the multiverse in some capacity.
You talk about the very end. You're talking about like the post credits.
Yep.
Yeah. I think too that there's a clear couple of windows that this show opens if they wanted to introduce mutants, which is the fact that something that Agatha picks up on, which is she cast a probability hex on that Stark on the bomb.
That's why it
which
never
I think
went off.
was true, because I don't think Agatha would make a mistake about that, and so that implies that Wanda has some kind of innate ability there. And she says that the Scarlet Witch is not, she doesn't need a coven or anything. She's forged. Now that could be forged by, maybe some scientific thing, maybe a mutation. We don't know. But
it's possible.
They might not want to introduce it just yet, but they can always go back there and say, like, this is a window we opened. And also, the people who came back from the snap, or the blip, as they refer to it. I prefer the snap. The people who came back and got reconstituted, maybe some kind of radiation from that causes some,
Yeah, there are ways that they can introduce the X-Men without having to resort to like something that's too far-fetched.
Yeah, like they don't have to say like all of a sudden like or Professor X has been hiding them mentally this whole time or something. Like they don't have to do that.
Like
they could, yeah, there are other avenues that they could use to bring it up. But I'm so glad that we have magic in the MCU and it's full magic. It's not just like technology that has become so advanced that it's akin to magic. This is actual magic. Like
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
moved from that to actual magic.
Yeah, with the Salem witch trial thing.
Yeah. And
So
I,
going back to the whole magic thing.
mhm.
So something I would really like to see in the future is like a Marvel movie set in the 1600s. Maybe like
Ooh,
maybe do
yeah.
some like some sort of adaptation of Neil Gaiman's 1602.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. There's a lot of stuff, man. There's so many things that they could use for that. I
Yeah.
mean, look at what they're setting up with her kids and like with Kate Bishop coming into Hawkeye and with Cassie Lang being Scott Lang's daughter and she's fully grown now. I mean, like they're setting up Young Avengers, man.
It's no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
It's a matter of when.
Yeah.
Yep.
Post Infinity Saga's off to a great start.
I
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
I'm so glad that now we can do like, you know, the nexus of all realities and stuff, which kind of ties into Loki in a way.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I've thought about this, and this I know COVID has shifted the schedules, like, and everything is all out of whack now. Um like um like Benedict Cumberbatch did shoot a post-credit scene for WandaVision, but um because Doctor Strange got pushed back, that scene was cut. So
Mm.
who knows when we'll ever see that footage. But
Spider-Man, maybe?
probably, like, if it's not in the Spider-Man movie, it'll be probably the post-credit scene, because we know Doctor Strange is involved in both of those films,
Yep.
and that those are direct follow-ups to WandaVision.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But like like this show sows it sows seeds for a lot more than like maybe the casual fan realizes.
Yeah,
Um
definitely.
Do you think all of this is why they're casting Alfred Molina as Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx as Electro?
Yep.
and it's possible.
And the Spider-Man, I'm sure we'll see them.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield
It's
back.
gonna happen.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Please,
Oh.
Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin again.
Oh my god, can we please get Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen? I would kill for that.
Yes, please.
Nicolas Cage's Spider Noir live action.
Dude,
All right, now I have to ask.
that was amazing. That would be amazing.
Speaking of old actors returning, um,
Oh yes, let's
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
that. Let's talk about that,
let's
shall
talk
we?
about
The epic troll from Kevin Feige to all of the fans.
Mm,
I am not in favor of this.
I love it.
that was just, I gotta say, when that happened, when I saw, with him back as Quicksilver, I just literally shouted, "Genius!" Just
Boo on you, Kevin Feige. Boo on you, sir.
okay.
For giving me hope.
They knew exactly
No,
what they were
no. I mean,
doing.
yeah, seriously though. They knew exactly what they were doing. However, I'm pissed off at him for that.
But by the way, though,
The kick-ass thing was great. That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
By the way, though, this doesn't negate the existence of the multiverse, because
No.
what Marvel likes to do sometimes, and they've done this before with the Mandarin. They've done this to some extent with Captain America, like wearing his classic costume on stage during those during his like USO performances, and then like in future movies, like he becomes like the real Captain America.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Marvel likes to joke about the sillier comic book stuff before actually then doing the comic book
They
stuff.
sure do. They sure do.
Like
That his man cave was completely Peter
right?
Maximoff. That was completely. Yeah, I don't, something's fishy here. But I do think that if they just leave it like this, it was a brilliant con, Mr. Feige, a brilliant con. And also very upsetting. And you should never do it again.
Touche, Mr. Feige, touche.
Touche, sir.
Mm.
But you know what, though? I mean, like, yeah, I enjoyed Evan Peters in that role. I do wish we had gotten some kind of Aaron Taylor Johnson cameo, like especially in Hydra when she was going back to her memories.
That would have been nice. I'm not sure why Aaron Taylor Johnson didn't return.
Is he still in the Kong or Godzilla franchise? Is he still like a part of that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay, maybe he's just busy doing other things.
Could be.
He's doing Kick-Ass 3. I don't know.
The last thing I saw him in was Tenet.
Yeah.
He was in Tenet?
He was.
Yeah, he was like one of the
backwards army guy, running army guy. Reversal army.
Oh, so like did you see his face in that movie?
Yeah. No, he you probably just didn't recognize him though, because he had a full.
Because I was too busy trying to make out what the hell people were saying.
Academy Award winning Tenets.
If this movie, if it wins visual effects, I'll be like, okay, you can have that one.
So let's talk about how Hayward is a massive dick.
Oh,
I want to talk about a heel turn. Like that guy goes from being like relatively reasonable in his first few appearances, and then he just turns into a massive heel, like so bad. In that last episode, especially rewatching it tonight, I was just like, he went full evil.
Yeah, shooting at kids. I mean, God.
Yeah.
I knew that he was going to be bad news once he showed like once he showed like footage that was totally doctored, by the way. Of Wanda stealing Vision's corpse.
Yeah.
That's when I knew right away something is up.
What was his whole purpose, though? What was his end game, if I could use that term? Because
he was
he just hates heroes. Is that what it is? He just hates powered people.
I can only assume.
He's just a mover and shaker, basically.
Pretty much. Well, no. I think the thing was like, he was one of the survivors of the blip. Yeah,
he lived through it.
Yeah, he lived through the 5 years.
So he blames them for it or something.
Something like that. I think like they only wrote dialogue like that to make us hate him.
Yeah.
Because once he started saying shit about Monica's mother.
Oh yeah.
That's when
that was it.
Yeah, that's when everyone turned on him.
Yeah.
Now on the flip side of that, this show made Darcy and Jimmy Woo into megastars.
Oh yes.
Man,
Kat Dennings, she can do no wrong in my book. So yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah. And Randall Park is fantastic.
Randall Park I thought was a little funnier.
Yeah, Randall Park is great. He should be in everything. I'm a little disappointed though that Kat Dennings didn't really get a proper send off.
Yeah,
she got admittedly a great line in the finale.
She did.
Have fun in prison. But after that, like we don't really know where what she's been up to.
No, she just pieced out of there. She was gone.
I hope we haven't seen the last of her. Like, how cool would it be if she ended up in Ant-Man 3, which Jimmy Woo will star in, and he'll probably have a more prominent role
Oh yeah.
now that he's in a leadership position.
Is he going to be director of Sword?
I
Or is
think
that
so.
or is that going to be Monica? No, she can't because she's going to go up into space and stuff and Captain Marvel 2 and all that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jimmy Woo is going to be the new director of Sword.
By the way, in the comics, Sword stands for sentient world, not sentient weapon.
Yep.
So that shows you that the priority is shifting, or has shifted in the MCU version of it. Can we talk about Teyonah Parris?
Uh
Yes.
huh.
She is fantastic in this, and I'm so curious to see where her character goes, and I'm so curious to see, like, what does Monica have against Captain Marvel? Like, what is the issue between them? Because it seems like she's iffy about Carol for some reason.
I think it's I think her beef is that
Didn't save her mom, maybe.
Oh yeah, because she wasn't there to stop the snap, right? She didn't, and her mother died 2 years after the snap, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my theory, is that she wasn't called sooner, right? Because she would have been around to say goodbye to her mom. That's my
So she
theory.
couldn't save the mother, so maybe that's why. Or maybe they just didn't interact because Captain Marvel has bigger fish to fry, so to speak.
Yeah, like I'm thinking that like she hasn't seen her at all since the end of Captain Marvel, and that's
so she's
so she's just kind of like just harboring bitter feelings.
Yeah, she's gonna go find her and be like, "Why weren't you there for my mother? You know, why weren't you there for me?" And it's a fair question.
Totally.
But I do want to see them work together at some point. Also, I want a Next Wave movie so badly. Oh my god.
Oh god, yes.
That would be the most hilarious thing, and make it exactly like the comic. Just make it be completely like, make it a series and make it just so stupid and off the wall funny. That is my favorite parody book since Young Justice, since like the original Young Justice book.
I think they should do a Hulu animated series of Next Wave.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yes. I remember that comic had that one it had the one sequence where every time you flipped the page, it was just a double page spread of them fighting. And that was like for like maybe the majority of the pages of that book. And at the final one, they said Next Wave wasting your money since 2000 and whatever.
Nice.
That was so perfect. Just no perfect. But yeah, and Dirk Anger instead of Nick Fury. My
god. Anything else we need to address from WandaVision before we wrap things up?
What do you think of, like, do you think the episodes could have been like 43 minutes each? Like the length of an hour-long TV series.
Nah, I think I like that these episodes have varying lengths because each one has to tell their story in a specific amount of time. So,
but I do wish that Disney would not count like the overseas credits as part of the time, because it's really frustrating when it's like a 39-minute episode and they say it's 50 minutes.
Right. Why can't you just have different dubs? Okay, like have the Germans one just be available on the German dub.
Yeah. Because
that's always been kind of a frustrating thing about Disney Plus's streaming credits, is that they take up like a good
the last fifth of the show, at least.
Yeah,
it's a 50-minute show. They take up 10 minutes.
If I recall correctly, what Netflix does is, or other streaming services, is like the video runs out and then it's like a separate like 30 seconds that's just the international credits.
Mm-hmm.
But that is very much a nitpick.
Yeah.
I will say that I and just to, I think by the way, Monica's power set is awesome, and I think that's going to be really interesting when they finally fully explain it. I do want to touch a little bit on the main trio. Let's say Catherine Hahn being one of them, who is like she is on my radar now because I don't think I've seen her really in a substantial role in anything else, and I think she's so excellent in this. I can't recall. Maybe I have, but I don't think I have.
I'm sure you have. It's just, well, you've even admitted yourself like you're not a big slice of life fan, so maybe you haven't seen some of the dramas that she's been in, but
it could be.
But she's Catherine Hahn is hilarious.
What is she, like 47? I can't even believe that. Like she does not look her age.
She's 47.
She does not look 47. No. She does a really good job. She had one of my favorite, like her line deliveries are so great. Like that one at the end where she's just like staring up at Wanda and she just goes, "Did I leave the oven on, or is that just you, hot stuff?" I mean,
yeah. She sells
to pull off those lines. Even when she's being like mean to Wanda, she still has that humor, which I just love so much. And Agatha Harkness, by the way, guys, is the nanny to Sue and Reed Richards' kids in the comics.
So do you think she'll be back for Fantastic Four?
I think she's going to be back before that, but I think that I think if anything, we might see her in the Fantastic Four when they get around to that.
One thing that you should also know is that Harkness is in the comics, she's less of a villain and more of an anti-hero.
She's had her moments.
But like she's more well known for being Wanda's mentor and her mentor and teacher of magic.
And also for a lot of younger audiences out there, Magneto was once a good guy, like full on, like follow Xavier's example, good guy during Claremont's run. So, like, I mean, it's not unheard of that we've had villains switch sides and heroes switch sides and stuff like that, of course, as we know. But like, I do want to say, just really quickly, Paul Bettany reduces me to tears when he says when in episode 8. Not just the "what is grief but love persevering" line, which is one of the best lines in the MCU.
Oh, it's great, but that actually wasn't the line that got me.
No,
but according to Film Twitter, that's not a Scorsese movie, so it means nothing.
Well, I mean, look, I think that people that are like, I think it's a little hyperbolic to say that every screenwriter in the world said "fuck" when that line was uttered. But I mean, it's a little hyperbolic to say that, but at the same time, it is a really good, poignant line, and it works for this show, which is what we're looking at. But like the line reading that gets me is when she brings back Vision. And we see how he comes back, and we see the black and white world, and she steps into frame in the black and white. And then he looks at her, and Paul Bettany reduces me to tears.
When he just says,
she's got tears
Wanda.
in the eyes, and he just says, "Wanda." Oh my God, the way he said that. And then when they flip it on you in the next episode where White Vision says it, but it's menacing. Perfect.
And my favorite thing about that is, like, he barely even changes his inflection. It's just Wanda.
It's just the way he said it and the look on his face. And it's said with so much love, and it's said with so much like understanding. Breaks me. It breaks me.
But the line in episode 8 that broke me was when Wanda goes down to like the sword lab where Vision is all
yes
up. And she just looks at the lifeless corpse and just says, "I can't feel you."
Oh yeah, that got me.
Yeah her acting in that, what one of her lines in that episode that really got me too, which is the same scene as the "what is grief" line, is when he goes up to her and he's trying to talk to her and comfort her, and she just sits there and she just goes, "I'm so tired. I have literally said that this week, where I just like hang my head and I'm just like, I'm just so tired. I don't know. You know, it's like you're at your just the end point.
I had
And
moments like that when I was in college.
yeah,
Same.
she just Elizabeth Olsen. I don't think she's going to win any awards for this, but she wins my award because she is just so awesome and she looks fucking great in that Scarlet Witch costume.
Right?
Jeez.
She does.
Whew. Okay. Anyway, I was right there with Catherine Hahn with her with her character when she said that line. But yeah, she looks great in that that Scarlet Witch outfit, man. That's just that costume design is like chef's kiss A+. You know, I think that throughout this whole entire series, even the sitcom stuff, she just nails everything, and so does Paul Bettany. I think that they have great chemistry together and just completely nailed it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think final thoughts on WandaVision after watching all 9 episodes, and yeah, I'll probably rewatch them again before No Way Home and
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness, which by the way, I've been telling people everywhere, Multiverse of Madness is a very specific subtitle which has the acronym MOM.
Ooh.
And if you paid attention to the second post credit scene, when you hear Tommy and Billy crying out, that
it's all coming together.
right?
And do you know who's involved in bringing her children back to life in a way?
Does it start with an M?
It sure does.
Although who knows if Disney is going to actually use Mephisto, because
China.
Yeah. Which
But
is why, like,
wouldn't it be awesome bit of stunt casting if Al Pacino was him?
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That would be so freaking great. They don't even have to say his name, to be honest. But you know what? Mephisto actually played a role in Infinity Gauntlet in the comics too. So like he was around when Thanos was around. So that's a whole nother can of worms too.
So they're probably, if they're not going to use Mephisto, it'll be Nightmare or Dormammu.
Yeah,
because Dormammu's not dead; he's just imprisoned. And for all we know, what Wanda did could have broken the seal.
Could use the next wave version of Dormammu called Rorkanu, and he likes the Suicide Girls.
Yeah.
He's like,
and she'll be the one who has to bargain.
I'm just saying, it could happen. It won't happen. Yep, she could be the one to bargain for her kids. Yeah, exactly, Jacob. You're right. I mean, I don't know. You know, it could be. She might destroy the world, after all. She might kill the rest of the multiverse.
Ooh.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield might just disintegrate into dust. Scarlet dust.
Oh no.
No more Spider-Men. Entirely different from the comics. There you go.
That would be a nightmare.
That would.
But as I was saying, I think this show is one of the finest pieces of entertainment that has come out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think Matt Shakman and Jay Schaefer deserve a lot of credit for what they've given us. And
yep.
I think this was a much better opening to Phase 4 than the original plan, in hindsight, because this was sort of the best way to tease the idea of a multiverse, but not go like full force until like Doctor Strange 2, and also Spider-Man, because that's dealing with the multiverse too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is probably the best start to Phase 4 that I could have imagined.
Yeah, I hope that people, open their minds also to like to what this is really saying about Wanda and how she's able to, like probability hexes and like, reality, like she can shift reality pretty much in the comics she can. And I think that's kind of what they're pointing towards here. So we shall see. But, it's nice to see them embrace the Scarlet Witch thing and to kind of bring in more of that kind of element. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Jacob, any final thoughts?
Nothing else I can say again that hasn't already been said. Go check it out if you haven't. Like if you've magically avoided spoilers up until now, just try to watch it as soon as you can.
If
I
you've
gotta
been
say
entombed.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier has some pretty big shoes to fill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's just going to be straight spy action thriller. I think that should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the buddy cop dynamic between Sam and Bucky. But yeah, after WandaVision, the ball is in their court.
And what role does the White Vision have to play in all of this as well? Because we know there's going to be some repercussions from that. So,
oh yeah. So yeah, this was our this was a great episode of Home Theater. We talked a lot of the movies were the movies, but I'm glad we finally have a platform to talk about WandaVision.
Me too.
Also, go see go check out
Originally,
Minari.
this was going to be a Capes one, wasn't it?
It was going to be on the Capes episode, yeah, but
was this originally going to be a Capes one?
But then we decided to do like the Zack Snyder Justice League and DCU, I think, right?
Yes.
Which is coming up. That's coming up soon. So
I've been doing like a Snyder marathon myself. Like I'm approaching this Snyder cut as more as just an entry in his filmography and less as just a DCU entry, which is probably how he prefers to have it looked at.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing that as well recently.
All right. Well, before we head out of here, where can everyone find you guys online? Jacob, we'll start with you.
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter on Joe Crable, Krehbiel, and you can also find me in the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group.
And Kiona?
As we mentioned earlier, renegadepopculture.com. Facebook and Twitter official pages are at Ren Pop Culture. That's Ren, not Stimpy. And also, you can find us in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/RPC42. You can find me on basically Instagram, Neoplasmic24, also Steam. Find me on there as well. If you guys want to play Cold War Zombies, I'm always on Battle.net also. So Neoplasmic81 on that one. So yeah, add me up, guys.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And find me in all the various Facebook groups, including our own, just at my name. You can check out all of our other podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen.
Stitcher, yep, everywhere.
And last but not least, check out renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we. That'll do it for this installment of Renegade Home Theater. We will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.